Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together to talk about all the news happening in our pop culture world around us.
What's up, guys? It's Menace here, and I'm joined today by Blaze.
What up?
And Gemini.
Hello.
And we got some new news actually coming out this time. We're on the ball this week.
For once.
Honestly.
But I am going to start us off with the new Helloverse. For those of you that don't know, that is Hazbin Hotel and Hell of a Boss shows that if you've seen our episodes, you've heard me rant about before in a good way. And if you haven't seen our other episodes, they originally started as an indie YouTube series, and Hazbin Hotel has been picked up for a season on Amazon Prime or Prime Video, and it's very good. It's musical, animated musical, not meant for children. Neither is Hell of a Boss, but it's good, fun cartoon adult humor. But we got some news earlier in the month or last month that Hell of a Boss, the show on YouTube, has been confirmed for a season 4, and they are already halfway done with the voice acting for season 3.
We haven't even gotten season 2 yet.
We are in the back half of season 2 for Hell of a Boss.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Hazbin Hotel.
Oh no, we're getting to the ludicrous news for Hazbin. But yeah, so we are getting season 3 and 4 confirmed for Hell of a Boss, which I'm excited for because it kind of fleshes out more of the universe between the two shows. Then there is also the announcement of not only season 2 being in the works, but also Hazbin Hotel has been already confirmed for a season 3 and 4, which is kind of nutty.
Yeah, for them to greenlit that far ahead is nuts, because usually when it comes to a lot of studios, they only greenlit one season at a time, which is good for some shows and bad for some shows, because sometimes they don't get the greenlit right away, so they end up having the season end almost like it's going to be the end of the series, which I know some shows like Legend of Korra, for instance, on Nickelodeon, that show severely got hit bad by that, because each season they were told that was going to be the last season, so they tied up everything to end that season, and then they get told it's greenlit for a new season, and now they have to come up with a whole new story again.
Is that why?
And try to make it coherent. That's why the story wasn't that good for Legend of Korra. The story would have been so better if they knew they were going to have multiple seasons and they could branch it all one coherent story throughout the seasons.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
No, I was gonna say, I never ended up watching Korra, but I've seen some, like, little tidbits about it and everything, kind of like, episodic or seasonal recaps about it from this, like, one person on YouTube, and I'll admit, I was a little, like, ooh, when it came to some of the ooh.
Yeah, the only time they knew they were gonna be greenlit for another season afterwards was the season before the last season, because that one actually was where the story was getting good, and the season actually felt like there was more to come, because they actually knew they were gonna have another season, which would have been the last season after that.
Yikes.
Oh.
Big yikers.
Oh yeah, but I am glad that Hazbin and Hell of a Boss are greenlit to know that they have this to work with. And speaking of kind of like how you were talking with Korra, as I was looking into this, I went to the Hell of a Boss wiki, and the only information that we have for season 4 is that it is said to be the final season for Hell of a Boss.
Oh, so Hell of a Boss is gonna be coming to an end then.
After season 4, it sounds like.
I mean, I think 4 seasons for an offshoot spin-off series, that's a pretty long runtime for a spin-off series.
That's not they came out, Hell of a Boss has been running longer than Hazbin.
And that's what I'm saying, like, but that was originally intended to be like a spin-off series for Hazbin, correct?
They were just kind of meant to be their own separate shows in the same world.
It's still technically a spin-off because it's in the same universe and everything. And regardless, like 4 seasons is pretty good. That's a pretty good runtime for what started out as essentially a YouTube thing.
Yeah, let's hope that maybe if Hazbin keeps going good and Bubble Boss, goes through its motions, maybe Amazon will be like, ooh, yeah, we'll grab that one too.
Well, here's the thing on my end about that. They know they're going to go to season 4 and that's it. I'm hoping they tie it all off on a nice bow, because it could end up being the Korra situation where they're done and then they get picked up to do another season afterwards, and then they won't know a good story to do for it because they already wrapped up everything that was good about the show. A lot of shows suffer from that when they do too many seasons, because they've already tied up all the main points of the story. Now they're just adding more stuff to it.
True,
it
but
becomes diluted.
We have also seen Hell of a Boss have banger episodes strictly based off the side characters.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying, and that is a worry of mine. But back over to the Hazbin side, because I have a couple of other little things. Was it yesterday we got a few of Erica's voice lines, the voice of Charlie, the main character of the show, I should say, doing some of her lines for season 2, and there wasn't really anything to really go off of. She did mention when she was asking about, she's like, for timing, when is this specifically after everything that happened? So I thought that was a cool nod, but you didn't get to hear the answer. We also got confirmation that the next antagonist for season 2 is going to be the V's that were introduced in season 1. So we'll be able to we'll probably get to see the backstory of how Alistair knows the V's, or at least Vox, and see them go after the hotel, which I'm interested for. I love them as villains. They're really good. And someone say something. And the last thing that came out just today, actually, right before we started the recording, is there was a fully voiced storyboard of one of the episodes for season 2 of Hazbin Hotel, where we got to meet a new character joining the hotel, a scientist named Baxter.
I feel like he's just another Serpentious.
No, he's actually like the opposite of Serpentious. He's cold, and he's there to disprove the theory of redemption scientifically.
I am curious to see, because we know, and mild spoilers for, spoilers for whoever hasn't seen the first season yet, because we know at the end, Serpentious gets redeemed. I'm curious to see if Heaven tries hiding that from Hell, or if, Emily is gonna, try to, send a message to Charlie and let her know that Pentious is up there.
I think that's what'll grow the conflict in Heaven between Sarah and Emily, is that, Emily wants to tell her, and Sarah's doing everything in her power to not have it be known. I'm interested to see this new character, Baxter, because he's a mad scientist, and when, in the storyboard, Charlie already mentions Serpentious. She's like, oh, you're so cute. He looks to be one of the the aquatic people from the Envy Ring. But him being a sinner, I'm not sure if that's just having to do with how they died or not. There's different factors that go into how they look. But she leans down. She's like, oh, you're so cute with your little lab coat. Are you an inventor? You're just like Serpentious. And even Baxter knows who he is. He's like if you're referring to that snake, I assure you I am nothing like him. I am a scientist, not an inventor. They're very different. So I think it'll be cool to kind of see him try to disprove, and then eventually it'll come out that Serpentious got redeemed.
I feel like I'm making a prediction right now. Is that right at the end of the second season, the word gets out that Serpentious got redeemed after they finished dealing off with Vox and the V's.
I could see that.
And then season 3 is gonna be them dealing with the fact that they just found out that Serpentious did get redeemed.
Mm-hmm. And then that's when I won't say anything, but that's when the other thing that shows up at the end of season 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. We're gonna be eating for a while for the Helliverse fans. And I'm there for all of it, because both shows for season 1 was really good, and the back half of season 2 is been amazing for Hell of a Boss. going from future content to shows to a new movie that just came out, Blaze, I gotta know, how was Deadpool and Wolverine?
That movie was awesome, man. Oh my god. That movie was one amazing cluster, to say the least.
It was a train wreck in the best way possible?
Oh, absolutely. So, the whole movie is one big ball of cameos and callbacks, death, and swearing. I think there was more swearing in this movie than the first two Deadpools combined.
That's damn.
And the amount of fighting, blood, and guts that's in this movie, so much more than the first two. Hell, I'd even say the first scene in the movie has more than the first two combined.
That's, I don't know. The first scene from Deadpool was pretty good.
This one takes the cake.
Oh no.
And it's hilarious how Deadpool is killing people too.
Does it start off in the same way as the other two, with like a slow motion where he's talking? He's like, I wonder how if you're wondering how I got here.
A little bit. There's a fun little music montage that goes to this. That was really good. Be prepared for some NSYNC. Is all I'm gonna say. But this is gonna be my non-spoiler review of the movie. Me and Robbie are going to go over our spoiler review of it, of how we thought about the movie more in depth, which we will talk about after this, and we will bring up spoiler warnings and whatnot to make sure, for those who don't want to be spoiled, to back away. But for right now, non-spoiler review going forward for Deadpool and Wolverine. This movie, so many cheers and laughs were going on in the movie as things were going on. It was so good to see Hugh Jackman back and being Wolverine, a new version of Wolverine as well. And finally
he's from a different universe, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a different Wolverine. The Wolverine that died at the end of Logan is still dead. This is a different Wolverine, a different take on him. And it is nice seeing Hugh Jackman finally be in the comic accurate suit. The banter between Deadpool and Wolverine is just fantastic. And hearing Wolverine swear for the first time on the big screen is hilarious.
I didn't even think about that, honestly.
Oh, it is fantastic. It is so hilarious hearing him cuss Deadpool out a storm whenever he does something stupid.
That's so great.
And people will get what they want. They will see Deadpool and Wolverine fight each other a lot in this film because they just piss each other off throughout the entire movie.
Well, that's like what it was in the comics and stuff. It'd be like they'd fight each other, beat up on the bad guy, or do the mission that they're supposed to be doing, beat up on each other while they're doing the mission.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they do not hold back whatsoever. And the movie itself, like I said, it's cameo heaven. There are so many cameos in this movie that you don't even see coming. There were some of them that made me jump out of my seat when I saw the person.
Oh,
and
give us a tease. At least one cameo.
A few fan casts. I'll say that is all I'm saying. There's a few fan casts in this.
Oh,
but I think the one thing that didn't quite hit me with the movie is the main villain feels very one-dimensional, but it doesn't take away how good this movie is.
Okay.
Great.
The villain seemed like such an out of left field choice for who their character is in the comics.
Very much so, but it still didn't take away how good the movie is. There is a little bit of controversy with the film because a lot of people are going online and saying how bad the movie is. But the people that are saying that the movie is bad is the people that have not watched anything Marvel related prior. They're not getting all these cameos. They're not understanding how Deadpool is, how all of this connects in the Marvel comics and with the MCU as well. And that's kind of taking a hit on the movie. But for the most part, it's still very positive. Audience scores giving it a 97 on Rotten Tomatoes, and the critics from Tomato Meter are giving it about a 79%. So still really good reviews. But there are a few big voices out there of people that are just ragging on the movie because they just don't understand any of it that's going on.
Yeah, we are still in that like review bomb culture as well.
Yeah.
Where like I don't know, they see one thing bad and it's an instant done with them for the movie. It's just like they didn't do this one thing right, or they did one thing that they didn't like, and it's like, nah, I need to go and post a 1-star review.
Yeah, I will say the music they chose for this movie, all the songs they grabbed were hilarious and perfect for this movie. And you even get a couple songs in it that are cameos to stuff that Hugh Jackman has done in the past.
Oh, that's good.
Which is even better.
And this is supposed to play into the multiverse more, right?
Yep, it's a one big multiverse movie. You deal with stuff in the TVA, you see them in the trailer. But yeah, it's a lot of multiverse stuff going on with this. It's kind of a movie that ends the era of Fox and is bringing it all into the MCU.
Nice, okay. I've been kind of waiting for that. And now that I'm kind of thinking about it, it always seems like we get a Deadpool movie when Marvel starts getting stale, doesn't it?
No joke. They used this movie to save the MCU with how bad it's been these last few movies.
Wasn't it like the same thing with Deadpool 2, though?
Kinda. Well, I mean, that was all Fox, though. That was before MCU. But I won't say this saved what's going on with the MCU and all its bad movies lately, but it definitely corrected and helped it.
Deadpool's the Marvel palate cleanser.
As per Deadpool's wording in the trailer, I am Marvel Jesus.
Exactly.
But me and Robbie will go over more of the spoilers here in a moment. But before we do, I do want to say some stuff that just got announced at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con yesterday. Oh my god.
What?
So, they have announced that Deadpool Wolverine is the start of the mutant saga of the MCU. We've been waiting for them to actually go back to like phases and sagas. Yep. We're going into the mutant saga. They got a trailer out for Fantastic Four for the people that were there. I saw
know where you're going with this one.
Yeah, I saw some snippets of the trailer online. The movie has like a 1960s futuristic vibe, so I don't know if this is going to be in the main universe or this is going to be in another multiverse where the Fantastic Four is going to be.
Now that they open up the multiverse to the movies, it's always going to be like, is this the main timeline? Is this until we see somebody that we know? Yeah, but the biggest thing is that they announced that they're scrapping the Kang Dynasty Avengers movie. They're completely doing away with the Kang story after John Major's getting fired, which is a good call. And I think it's good to have that character done with, because I think the new Ant-Man movie and the Loki series, it ended Kang's story pretty well. Yeah. But they announced what's happening now. They're still having Secret Wars, but that's going to be Avengers 5 now. And then Avengers 6 is Avengers Doomsday, bringing in Victor Von Doom as the main villain for that Avengers film. But it doesn't end there, folks. No one would have guessed who they're bringing in to be Victor Von Doom. It's a very controversial pick. People are confused, but also excited to know if this is going to work, how it's going to work. But they're having Tony Stark himself, RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to be Victor Von Doom in Avengers Doomsday. And I'm curious to see how that's going to play. Variant?
I do believe so. Yeah, I believe it's going to be a multiversal variant of Tony Stark where he's actually Victor Von Doom instead of Tony Stark, but he still has the philosophy of Iron Man, but as Victor Von Doom, because when he comes on stage, takes off the Doctor Doom mask to show who he was, he takes the mic and says, different new mask, same task. Which for Iron Man for a bit was putting a suit of armor around the world. So I think this is going to be Tony Stark as Victor Von Doom with the mentality that Tony had, but on an eviler scale.
I think that'd be a really cool play to go with it.
The savior of the savior against Thanos now being their end.
I can see already him just like either whether he just randomly shows up on the world on Earth Prime, or not, or just like, or he's there on purpose. Just everybody thinking that he's the actual Tony come back somehow.
Yeah. But what's even bigger, too, is that the Russo brothers are coming back to direct these 2 Avenger films.
I heard about that, too.
So we know these movies are going to be amazing. They're in good hands. I'm a little skeptical about how they're going to do this story with RDJ being back. If it's a variant of Tony Stark being Doom, or if it's just kind of situation with, like, Chris Evans, how he originally played Human Torch, but now he's Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just lookalikes, but they're 2 different people.
Imagine if they do. I hope they really don't. But imagine if they do the CGI Chris Evans for Human Torch.
Oh, jeez.
That'd be so funny.
But, yeah, that's a lot of the big stuff that came out of Hall H for San Diego Comic-Con for Marvel-related stuff, or at least the big hits out of it.
We can hope this is in the right direction, and the people that pass the torch off for the Mutant Saga know what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it's going to go. I hope it goes well. But me and Robbie are going to go into the spoiler-heavy topics of Deadpool and Wolverine.
I did want to ask, though, them going into Mutant Saga, that could lead into, like, Krakoa and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But now...
87 doing as well as... Oh, sorry. Good. My mind's racing.
But now, I've got to share a little bit of unfortunate news. Due to the length and detail Blaze and I had gone into about the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, that will feature as next week's episode. Plus 2 other stories I still have intentions on including. So make sure to check back so you can hear all of our thoughts about the greatest Marvel movie to come out in the modern day. At least from my point of view. But don't worry, that's not all we have for this episode, as I give it back to myself to go into a couple extra tidbits for this week's episode. Well, you know, there's a lot on my hands for the next couple weeks, as aside from the spoiler section for Deadpool and Wolverine that you just finished hearing, there is quite a lot going on in the manga and anime realm that I felt I would be remiss if I did not mention. Now, to start things off, there is a really shocking piece of news that came out recently, and that is the TMNT and Naruto series crossover. Now, when I initially thought about this, I was like, how can this even be possible? But when you really think about it, it just kind of makes total sense. Now, this is only in existence due to the collaboration between IDW Publishing and Viz Media, which are the 2 companies behind TMNT and Naruto, and they are bringing a plethora of comic alumni to create this crossover spectacular. You've got Caleb Gollner, who is known for his work on the official Sonic the Hedgehog comic. He'll be in charge of writing the script and scenario. Henry Presecca is one of the main illustrators from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic series from 2016 to the present day, and he will be in charge of the artwork. Now, the artwork that's been released for this crossover is already looking crazy, and I'm already excited to see what comes out of this. Now, for release date, this is going to be coming out on November 13th, 2024 via IGN, which is hilariously misspelled as 2034 on the CBR website I pulled from, which is made even more funny because they actually cite IGN, so come on guys, get your facts straight. Anyways, to finish off this little segment, I'll be reading verbatim the synopsis of the first issue. When teenage reporter April O'Neil has a clandestine meeting with Tsunade, the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village, it garners the attention of Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. They aren't the only ones wondering what the 2 women were discussing though. The Sinister Foot Clan have their own interest in April's visit, as they think she might hold the valuable information on mutation research being conducted by the scientist Baxter Stockman. With April caught between the forces of the Hidden Leaf Village and the Foot Clan, it can't be long before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show up to lend her a hand. Now, the one important thing I want to get across with this is it seems this will take place in the OG Naruto setting with child Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke. So honestly, I'm just really excited how they're going to take this. Now, the other important news piece that I wanted to touch on is a recent announcement from Adult Swim which was also teased back in 2019, as they are finally going to be releasing the anime adaptation to the 98-99 manga Uzumaki, which was originally written by Junji Ito and seen as his magnum opus. Now, the production company behind this anime will be Toonami, so I'm already excited to watch this. And for those of you that are unaware, one, Adult Swim already has a trailer and a sneak peek, and they are both lovely, so please go check them out. But it seems this is a story of a village suffering from the curse of spirals, as it seems to affect everything from the air current to whirlpools in the water, and disturbingly enough, affecting people to the point where all they can think about or have in their lives are spirals. Now, there have already been video games and a live-action adaptation of this series, but for this anime adaptation, I'm actually incredibly interested in it because this is something new to me, but this will be depicted in black and white. And honestly, I've never seen an anime made in this style, so I'm already stoked to see what will happen. The art style and the characters look great, and honestly seem like a fitting adaptation of the original work. This anime will be coming out on September, which is only just a few short weeks away. So I'm genuinely going to be watching this when it comes out, because I've recently been getting into some really dark and scary anime and manga. For example, you got the lighthearted but still despair-filled Danganronpa. But to get to the actual examples of horror manga, the one I'll always go back to is Signal 100. Not a single person has made a video going through that manga, actually, now that I think about it. And maybe somebody should? But it's honestly a great read for those of you that are interested. But to wrap up my overall opinions on Uzumaki, I have high hopes that it'll be a faithful adaptation, and the creepy vibes and overall eerie and scary tone will truly make Ito's magnum opus even grander than it could have been on written page. Now that's kind of all I wanted to talk about with Uzumaki. I'll be returning again to discuss it in length once the anime comes out, because holy crap, if they are going to stick with the original idea of a 4-episode miniseries, this is going to be great, and I'm extremely excited for when this comes out on Toonami. Also, before I wrap things up, I just want to quickly mention I think it's absolutely hilarious that just by coincidence, I chose 2 topics for this week. One covering Naruto Uzumaki, and the other covering the anime adaptation of Uzumaki. I don't know, I just think that's pretty cool. That's been everything from me in the editor's dimension for this week, and now it is time for me to send it back to my friends to end this week's episode.
That is all from us. I would like to thank everybody for coming out here, Blaze.
Fun times.
And Gemini.
A pleasure as always.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are watching this on CGSW, make sure to go check out the other shows we got over on the site or on the station, whichever you are listening to. And we shall see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We'll see how it goes. And I have started. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a big pile of shit on me. I should probably pull up my resource article quick, because my mic is really close to my mouse and I noticed it's been picking up a lot of my clicking, and that's going to be more of a pain in the ass for Robbie to have to edit out. So who's starting us off? Like, who wants to do the whole
I'm starting off the topics, so might as well.
Alright, whatever you would like to proceed then.